On the call here tonight, let's send it out to our guys in the booth. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the home of Super Bowl 50, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the San Diego Chargers and the San Francisco 49ers. Hello again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, partner, I think we can safely sum up the goal this final week of the preseason with 3 simple words. Don't get hurt.
And make sure you follow that mantra, okay? We cannot have you hurt going into the season, but you're exactly right. Starters will play very little, if at all, in this game. A lot of guys fighting to make the roster because after this game's over, we get down to the 53-man number, and guys will be fighting like mad to be included in it.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback out of North Carolina State. It's Phillip Rivers.
In some ways, he reminds me of a past NFL great who played the quarterback position as well. Jawing with the opposition, trash talking a little bit, doesn't mind getting hit and battered around some that kind of gets him into the game. But once it's time to lock in, Phillip Rivers does that as well as any quarterback in the league.
They come up in an offset eye. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense. Still first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And there's a flag on the field. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's second down. So pass interference on the defense. And Charles, this is a penalty we see all the time.
The offenses know what they're doing. They know how to create great matchups and defenders. If you're not there in time, they will throw the flag.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. First down, Rivers sets up the screen to Gordon. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
I'm not sure they could have had a better call there for the defense. Blitz was called, and they're setting up for a draw. When you're blitzing, you're likely to beat them to the punch because they're going to take a little extra time to set up. Talk about the offensive line. In this case, you'll get into the backfield before they can get set up.
On 3rd down, Rivers. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And Myers able to knock it through, and the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So they come into enemy territory. Nice drive to start the game, but they probably wanted 6. They only got 3.
I agree with you totally. That's the expectation. When you get the ball and you start moving it and you're rolling, you think you're going to end up in the end zone. But they should be happy with the 3. A good way to get things going here in this game.
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. Leading him out is going to be their quarterback. That's the grizzled vet, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
One thing that I think Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't get enough credit for is his toughness. This is a guy who plays through injuries, but it's also being mentally tough. Knowing that everyone's always trying to move him out of the lineup, trying to find a replacement for him, yet he continues to battle and has earned the total respect of his teammates.
First carry for Carlos Hyde. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. And here's the headshots for the offense, and Carlos Hyde, a talented back.
Has taken over as the lead runner. A terrific talent. Can batter you inside, but has more speed than what you expect to take it the distance.
Second down following the run. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And we'll take a look quickly at the San Diego defense.
Corey Legion is rapidly making a name for himself as a defensive tackle. Knows how to penetrate upfield and disrupt plays in the backfield.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. He dumps it to Hyde. Whoosh. And he gets it down to the 32. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment defense. Still first down.
The defense helps the offense out there. Now 5 yards to go on first down. They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And an alley to run. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
And now San Diego getting set to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And, Charles, here's the offensive lineup.
Melvin Gordon, the exciting young runner out of Wisconsin. Well over 2,000 yards his last year with the Badgers. This is a guy who can catch it and run it.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
And he's brought down. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they liked to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And, boy, the payoff was good.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll come out in the pistol. They go back to Gordon here on first down. Oh, what a move. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A good pickup there at 22.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
They'll try to throw here. Rivers. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to arrive and in a bad mood.
Rivers now on 2nd down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. This defense has held on so far. Now from the 3, this is 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal for Rivers. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Travis Benjamin, his first touchdown as a San Diego Charger. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Charger defense now making their way back out onto the field. Now the interception for them the last time, and that turned into 6 points.
You think during their break they reminded the offense that, hey, we helped you guys out a little bit,
yeah.
right? You know, they want to see if they can do it again for them. They're putting together an entire team game by how they're playing on defense.
So the interception the last drive, what will happen here? Escaping the pressure right. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Second down, looking to throw. Fitzpatrick. That's complete. It's Gordon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Fitzpatrick now to throw on 1st down. Out to the flat for Hyde. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15. Going back there is the lone setback. They're going to look to throw. Being chased out left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. 7 yards on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got Burbridge. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3. All right, here we go.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Ellington has it, middle of the field. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And a neutral zone infraction on the defense.
The defense thought they had the timing count on the quarterback's cadence, but they jumped too soon. I see an extra DB on the field now for San Diego.
Yeah, indeed. Back to throw here. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Garrett Selleck, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the 49ers are back within a score. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point forthcoming. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now Mettenberger. Now he'll let it go deep left side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Here's Drew Kaiser now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Chargers defense gearing up to take the field. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half, some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
Taking me back to my childhood a bit.
There you go. You had a collection, didn't you?
I did. They'll start on the ground with Gore. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A reminder coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Penalty marker is down here, and that's complete. It's Allington.
Holding offense.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
Offense.
So that penalty, the offense shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. Now 3rd and 16. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So on 4th down, out comes Bradley Pinion to punt this one away. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Here's Mettenberger. Right's got it. Oh, nice move. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the 1st down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that's complete to Brian Quick. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws it.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 2nd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Now Mettenberger. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And there's a flag on the play. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Holding offense.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Now he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The 49ers have struggled to avoid costly mistakes. The Chargers, though, aren't pulling away to this point, even with the turnover margin going their way. All right, let's get it going. Let's roll those first half highlights. 49ers with the ball midway through 1. And he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 27-yard line. The offense would later throw a pick to win the drive. Offense now with the shot after the interception. Benjamin's got the reception, and after the short pass, he'll score, pushing the lead to 10. 3rd down from the 15, and he'll end up at the 10-yard line before being tackled. Now 1st and 10, out of the shotgun pass will be completed, and he'll be tackled at their own 39-yard line. Score stays the same, though, as they missed the field goal. And with that, we'll wrap up our halftime report and head back out now to Levi's Stadium for the start of the second half.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Chargers defense now getting set and taking the field. Coming off that fumble recovery last time, so maybe they come out here with bigger eyes, a little bit more excitement.
No doubt about it, and I would hate to be a guy in the NFL nowadays that has the football in his hands. Because in the old days, you just worried about getting tackled. Now, they're trying to strip the football, create the takeaways, and that's often more embarrassing than getting knocked to the ground.
Have they gotten much better since your playing days at stripping the football?
So far beyond what we used to talk about. Our thing was just securing tackles, and if turnovers were a result of the tackle, that was one thing. But now they want to secure the tackle, the next guy in, he's working to stripping the ball out, creating takeaways, getting it away from the offense is crucial. Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. They go with a screen to Gore. And there's a flag on the field. There goes Frank Gore. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
3 down. Hey, check. All right, here we go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he's brought down. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal.
Well, there's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle, whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie. The first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
It's good to make it 17-7. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Too quick to the trigger that time. Neutral zone infraction, and that'll cost him 5 yards. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Following the penalty, it's Gore. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
All right, here we go. 3, 9, 2.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. To the right side, caught by Saleh. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Back to throw here. And that's complete. It's Ellington. Touchdown, 49ers! Bruce Ellington, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. Now, he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. If you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now San Diego getting set to go. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Glenn Dorsey, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic, this is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. But I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the first down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Well, the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
Defense. Still 2nd down.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He'll find his man on the comeback route. Complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
5 yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On play action, they'll throw. He'll buy some time right. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's brought down. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
They'll try and push it in with Gore. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Frank Gore, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Now the extra point. make it 21-17. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the fourth and final quarter. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
Holding offense.
Now Mettenberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 14 yards there on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's complete. It's Brian Quick. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now movement up front. I think this will be on San Diego.
False start offense.
The penalty on 1st down backs him up 5. It's now 1st down and 15. Here's Mettenberger. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Back to throw again. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Uses the stiff arm. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here comes the Charger defense now as they get set back out there. Obviously a close game from the defensive standpoint. Maybe don't want to blow it too much out of proportion, but how important is this drive?
I think it's huge for them because they've got to find a way to help out their offense, whether it's doing it themselves, taking the ball away and scoring, or setting their offense up in a good position to give them a chance to fully be back in this game.
Sometimes that defense triggers the offense. We'll see.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Going back there is the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
To throw. He's got time. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 3rd down, but they are in field goal range already. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, here we go. Boom,
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's in across the chalk. Touchdown, San Diego. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us,
The big fella! He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete.
Holding offense.
And, of course, the defense is going to accept this penalty.
There we go. Nice play, baby.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. Give him 14 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
if you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They're going to look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the 49ers are back within a score.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job one. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted, so many things to go through.
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And the lead is down to a field goal now. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. They've got the lead by 3, late stages of the game. What's the message here? Just hang on to the football? Is it that simple?
That's exactly right, because ball security is paramount. And you got a small cushion. A field goal can tie you, but you don't even think that way. Just take care of the ball, close out the game.
Will they close it out? We're about to find out.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And he'll give it here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On second down, they'll try and run the counter. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he's brought down after a good gain. And the 49ers going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal. A dime look defensively. Big play coming on 3rd and goal.
They can still blitz out of this look.
This is one of those games where you hate that anybody has to lose. So many points, so many great offensive outputs individually and collectively, but somebody had to go down.
And even the losing team had fun, although they won't admit it to us here in the media. But they had a blast because that kind of football, back and forth, touchdown after touchdown, it's fun for everyone. But the winning team, they had a little bit more fun than everyone else.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Silicon Valley.